And we're back. And it's like, anyways. So, I don't know. That shit bothered the fuck out of me. I came up with a nice long comment that, you know, I didn't want to be mean about it or nothing because I don't really like dogging people. But I'm like, dude, first off, I mean, I don't even know if I've ever seen anything the guy's in because probably every movie he's been in probably looks fucking stupid as shit. But it's like, this guy is probably a fucking D+ actor at best in his best roles. And like, why the fuck would anybody be taking life advice from this fucking dude? And I ain't knocking him, man. Hey, each their own, dude. It don't matter to me if he ain't any more concerned about his soul than that, then fuck him, dude. I don't really give a shit, personally. But, it's like, if anybody in the world could be anybody in the fucking world, just that's alive right now, if they could be anybody in the world they wanted to be, I guarantee you ain't one motherfucker gonna pick that dude. So given that's the case, why the fuck would people take life advice? Did I just say life advice? I think I did. Take life advice from this fucking dude who, not only why would anybody take life advice from this guy, but especially when it comes to something like your soul. Why the fuck would you listen to this dumb fuck? Like, during NFL, I saw he was hosting some stupid fucking bullshit award show. I'm like, whoa, man, you're just setting the world on fire, bro. And like, you know, hey, he's got money, he's famous and all that, but it's like, some of the fuck what, dude? Like, to me, there are things that are far more important than fame and fortune, and that's your fucking dignity and, you know, being who you are, not selling out to have that fame and fortune. And a lot of motherfuckers sell out, dude. A lot of people sell out. And I don't know, that shit just ain't for me. That's one of the reasons I have a lot of respect for Dave Chappelle, because one, his show was by far the best comedy show on television ever, in my opinion. To this day, not a single day since like 02, 03, whenever his show ended, not one fucking day has went by that I have not quoted that show. And in one way or another, and usually it's like multiple times a day to this day. But it's like, what really impressed me about him is like his career was building. He gained a lot of success from that show. And then when they offered him $52 million, which ain't even that much anymore, but back then, you know, 02, 03, that's a nice chunk of fucking money. And they wanted to take creative control away from him. And he said, no, fuck that, I'm not selling out, not even for $52 million. And because of that alone, that's one of the reasons that I would love to meet him and just sit down and talk to him for a while. Like, his show was fucking brilliant as it was anyways. Because he's right. It's the same things I've been talking about. It's like, all this, like, race shit and stereotypes and everything. Like, it's perpetuated by the fucking news. The same people talking about how everything needs to be politically correct and you know, that racism should end and it shouldn't matter, and like on the NFL it says end racism on the ends of the fields, and it's like, yet the same people saying that shit are the ones perpetuating the entire fucking ordeal. So, and that's pretty fucking hypocritical, and because of that, that's another reason I don't trust the fucking news or the major media. And it's like, I was talking about the other day about how the only time you hear about a police officer killing somebody is when it's a white police officer killing a black person. And I was talking to my partner about this the other day at work, and I'm like, you know, it's just kind of odd that, like, they never talk about when a white police officer kills a Hispanic person. I'm like, shit, based on the news, you think they don't give a fuck about them. You know, it's like, why isn't that an issue? You know? Like, or any other group is like, none of the other ones matter. And you know why that is? Because it wouldn't stir shit up like it does now. And I was talking before about the national distraction. I don't know if I've talked about this on here. I know to an extent I have. Like the old video of mine that I watched, some old podcast video. It was like, I was talking about how, something about distractions, but like that's just what I started calling it, the national distraction. And before it was like Trump running for president the first time. And that was what dominated. Well, first it was North Korea. Then it became Trump in the election, and then it became North Korea again, like the major buzzwords to get people's attention and distract people from what the fuck's really going on in the world. Make people worry about and care about shit that just shouldn't even fucking matter. And that for a while, the wall. Anybody even remember the wall? Does anybody even remember that? I fucking forgot all about it until I watched that old video of mine, because it must have been during that time, I guess, or something. No, it couldn't have been. It was like a year and a half ago. But anyways, I forgot all about it, because that was the big buzzword for a while. The wall. Election. Trump versus Hillary, you know. And it's like Civil War II or World War III, you'd see in memes and shit. And it's like, that was the big ordeal. And then it came down to, what was the next one? It was like, I don't know if these are going to be in order, because it's been a while since I've thought about this, but there was the election, and then it was like collusion. Collusion was the big thing. And then the wall really started popping up after that. That was the big distraction for a while. And then, and North Korea was another one. You know, they haven't talked about, I mean, I don't know, because I don't actually watch the news, but it's like, the bits and pieces I hear, I don't hear a fucking word about North Korea. Anybody hear anything about North Korea lately? Because I haven't. I guess because the whole COVID thing was a big enough distraction, and where they got everybody's fucking attention, they didn't have to keep talking about nuclear threats from North Korea. And it's like, so what, is that just not an issue anymore? Is everything okay? Like the president and fucking Kim Jong-un fucking, you know, shake hands and, you know, have a couple drinks together and, you know, go get some massages or some hookers together and like, all right, we're cool. Everything's fine. Huh? What the fuck happened to that? What about them testing nuclear bombs underneath a mountain that was about to collapse? I haven't heard nothing about that, but then again, I have like really, really tried harder and harder, especially since this virus shit, dude. I have fucking just as much as I possibly can. I cut the news out, even every little tiny bit where it slips its way into my life somehow. I've been cutting all of it out because I don't fucking care. I don't want to know. It is of absolutely no concern to me. And it was all that, and then all of a sudden, you know, oh, that's right, it was collusion again, impeachment, that was a big word for a while. Was just like, dude, the guy's only, I mean, he only in office 4 years at a time. The most he could ever have is 8 years, so why the fuck are they wasting time and money and effort on an impeachment that never even, he didn't get kicked out of office anyways, not for that, but then here you go, like, right, like, somebody gets elected, someone else gets elected anyways, and they're still pushing that shit. They were pushing it even after the election was over and Biden had won. They were still pushing that shit until all of a sudden, oh no, coronavirus. And it's like, oh, coronavirus, it came from China. Who the fuck actually knows that? You know how many people I've talked to who would like, will say to you, oh no, it came from China. It came from a lab in China. I heard so. They said it on the news. I'm like, why don't you just go take a fucking long walk off a short pier and with some cement shoes on, because that's about the best you're going to serve humanity. Like, wow, well, they said so. Like, do you notice everything we buy still comes from China? The fucking face masks? Like, we have had to wear these stupid fucking masks to accommodate motherfuckers that are scared of a fucking virus or worried about a virus or maybe just concerned about a virus. Now, I'm not saying some people don't have a valid reason to worry, be concerned, or even to be scared. But you know that there are people who are scared, people who are worried, and people who are concerned. Some of them for a valid reason and some for not, you know? But it's like, I've had to accommodate all these fucking people for over a year now. When the fuck can we stop wearing these fucking dumbass pieces of paper on our face? Matter of fact, I'll be right back. I gotta pause this because I had a point to prove. Alright, let me get here in the light so you'll go see this. I want people to see what these death-proof masks are really doing for us, okay? Now, let me just give me 1 second here. Alright, I got my death-proof mask on, so nothing can fucking hurt me. I can get hit by a fucking freight train and I'll walk away from it with maybe a limp, because I got this death-proof mask on. But check this shit out. Here's what happens when you breathe with a mask on. This is what happens. Ready? Every time you breathe. So, what the fuck are we wearing these things for? To accommodate people? Really? Now look, I don't mind doing my part. I've said this before, I believe. I don't mind doing my part. But I've been doing my part for over a fucking year now. And I want to know when the fuck I have to stop accommodating other people. And people like me and other people who aren't worried about this shit don't have to keep fucking being put out and inconvenienced just because other people are scared. What I want to know is why the fuck, or why is it that people can't just say now? I heard like the CDC in Indiana has said we don't need them. Now, here's my issue with that, like, 'cause even though I said that, people are still going to require it at certain businesses and whatever. But it's like, if no one takes the fucking initiative and just stops wearing these fucking things, if somebody isn't the first one to fucking start doing it, or I don't mean somebody isn't one person, because there's a lot of people not doing it anymore, but if people don't just take the fucking initiative to just stop wearing them, and we just sit around waiting on, you know, everybody else who wants to keep them to finally be okay with it, we'll be wearing these things the rest of our fucking lives. Now, one thing they do, because I showed that to people at work before, and one guy said, yeah, but if you spit when you talk, and sometimes, like, especially when I get pissed off, I'm like fucking yelling at people on the road, I do spit a little bit when I talk, I'm not gonna lie. So it does catch that, sure. But for the most part, even I don't spit when I talk, typically, and most people don't. So it's not really helping anything, because you can see your breath just fucking goes right out of the motherfucker. And I bet you I could take a drag of that cigarette through the fucking mask on top of it. So, I mean, your air has to come from somewhere, and it ain't coming from inside the mask. You're breathing it in from elsewhere. So, anyhow, Illinois, like, they're still really fucking, like, everybody's wearing them fucking, well, not everywhere, but, like, there's a couple gas stations I know of where some people don't wear them. But what I don't understand is why they can't just come out and say, and businesses included, just say, hey, look, if you're worried about a fucking virus, if you're scared of a virus, or if you're just simply concerned about it, you put the fucking mask on. Why is it that everybody else has to fucking wear them because somebody else is concerned about it, or worried about it, or scared of it? And you know that there are people out there who are. Now there's other people out there who aren't worried about it, or scared of it, or concerned about it, like myself, that I've worn my mask for a fucking year everywhere I go, even though it's a pain in the ass. The shit gets all frayed up, and I get fucking little bits of fucking fuzzies up my fucking nose from breathing. And I can't breathe very good as it is because I have asthma and I smoke a lot of fucking cigarettes. So having hit, now again, that's somebody else's fault. But my point is, I didn't complain about it for a year. I mean, just here and there, like coworkers or whatever, just people I know. But it's like, I didn't try to make formal complaints about it. I just let it go and just did my part. But at this point, it's like, dude, I felt like I've done my fucking part, man. I happened to catch a little bit of news at my grandma's house last week. On 2 different days I went in. I think it was last week. One of the days, the first thing I saw was, it was 1 year ago today that the Minnesota police killing of George Floyd. And I'm like, damn, dude, really? Like, they're just like, hey, in case any of y'all forgot, look what they did. Look at it. Look what they fucking did. Don't forget that. You keep hating each other, motherfuckers. We wouldn't want y'all to start cooperating together and plotting against us, so you don't fucking forget that. And it's like, damn, dude, like just in case things have calmed down and shit ain't stirred up as much, man, let's just go ahead and throw it back out there. Probably for a fucking week or two, they'll probably be talking about that shit. Again, I have no opinion on the fucking subject because I don't know shit about it. I don't know if it's justified or not. I think anybody getting killed, anybody should be concerned about it. But it's like, people only seem to be concerned about certain people. They get killed by certain people. And that's it. No other way, shape, or form does anybody give a fuck about it. If I had heard in the news that a black police officer killed a white person, the first fucking thought in my mind is going to be, well, this stupid motherfucker should have done what he was told. Oh, you got out of the car when they told you just to stay put so they can talk to you and not feel threatened, and you got out anyways, or you reach under your seat, or you start fucking getting crazy, or grab a knife, or whatever the fuck. It's like, I'd be like, well, fucking idiot should have listened. And that's how I really feel about it. Like, some fucking white dude gets killed by a black cop, good, fuck him, he probably deserved it. And that's how most people feel. But it's like that one scenario is the one they keep just shoving down everybody's fucking throat because they know it's going to make us hate each other. And like I said, what about the Hispanic people? What about not Polish, I'm sorry. I didn't say European, but that was just the first country that popped in my head. But immigrants from all over different countries, different parts of the world. Like, what about them? Does nobody give a fuck about them? And it's like, just because slavery didn't include, like immigrants from Europe, they had a fucking hard-ass time here for hundreds of years. You know, I wouldn't say it obviously wasn't as hard, but I'm saying, like, so a lot of people came over here with nothing, man, hoping to make something, and they just fucking still had a really fucking hard life. And it's just like, that doesn't seem to be of concern to anybody. And I don't know why that is, man. Like, why? I think everybody should be concerned about everybody. Now, my main point of the news clip is I caught on a different day. Maybe it was that same day. As they said, for the first time since this coronavirus shit started, that because of the vaccines, then again, I don't know if any of this shit's true or not, but anyways, what they said was that for the first time that there was like, not drastic, but there was like a really good amount of like less cases coming in. Like the number of cases had declined sharply of people getting it. And it's like, awesome, dude. That's one little bit of fucking news that I'm actually happy to have caught on accident. But yet, the entire fucking state of Illinois is like, nope, gotta wear your mask. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. And the fucked up part is in the beginning, they just kept talking about when people were hoarding masks. What do they say? They will not help you at all in any way, shape, or form. Now, again, even though I haven't wanted to wear these fucking things at all, I mean, I have to admit that it may very well be better than nothing. It might very well be. In fact, I couldn't see how it couldn't at least be better than nothing. And maybe that's the premise as to why people had to start wearing them. It's like, it's fucking ridiculous to me, man. It's ridiculous. And because I believe in God, and I know, not just believe that God is real, I fucking know it, man. Without any doubt whatsoever, I am absolutely 100% certain. And because of that, and because I know God's on my side, dude, if I was allowed to, I wouldn't put a mask on a single fucking time. I would have changed my daily routine and just say for example, because I don't want to like I wore my mask for as long as I did because I felt it was my duty. I'd do my part, you know. If this shit is real or if it is serious or whatever, you know, I can at least do my part. But sorry, my Tylenol just starting to kick in and my mind's slowing down. But it's like, excuse me. But say if the entire time that, like, even if I happen to get the virus, that I could not, say it was impossible for me to spread it to people. And then I'd be allowed to not wear my mask and, you know, just say those, you know, well, what if in anyways, so what the fuck. But just say that, like, for example, that if I didn't have to wear a mask and I knew that regardless of whether I get it, I didn't give a fuck. But just say I was unable to spread it to other people by not wearing a mask. So that I'm not, like, putting other people's lives potentially at risk or whatever, or their families or anything. So it's like, if that was the case, and they said I didn't have to wear the mask, dude, I wouldn't put it on one fucking time. And to this day, as a matter of fact, when they started making that shit mandatory, I'll tell you what, if I have to wear a fucking mask, if I have to wear one, I absolutely refuse to spend $1 fucking on a mask ever. And if I have to do this shit, that somebody else is going to provide the masks, or I'm not wearing it. Now, obviously, stores don't. You have to buy them there, but it's like I get them. We have to wear them at work. Still have to a little bit. We're kind of phasing out of it, thank God. But to this day, I have not spent $1 at all on a fucking mask, period, not for any reason. I just reuse the ones from work. And it's like, I'm just saying, like, I just don't understand why so many people, it's like you put a mask on there, everybody's like, oh, okay, we're cool. Is that deer or a coyote? Was it deer? Hi, little deer. This is like small. I'm guessing it's a female deer. It doesn't have antlers, but I see them around here all the time. There's a whole shitload of them. There's one buck, and the buck, dude, he's a big motherfucker. He's definitely, these are all his hoes for sure. And I saw another buck like 2 years ago, maybe, a year and a half ago, and he had little bitty tiny antlers sticking up. And the next time I saw him, he was like half grown, and the antlers had gotten a little bit taller. But it's just sitting out there watching me. There was a coyote I saw earlier, so I'm just kind of keeping an eye out for them too. But I couldn't tell what it was at first. But they're just sitting there going, man, I wonder what the fuck that weirdo's doing. Just walking in circles, talking to a little plastic thing. And that's another thing I want to talk about. The fucking, well, hold on. Anyways, the whole virus shit though, man, is like, that has been the buzzword. First it was coronavirus, and then when that started to lose steam, it became COVID-19, which sounds more sinister. So, you know, that's been the big buzzword, and then vaccine was a big buzzword. COVID tests and vaccine, all buzzwords, man, just to keep people fucking distracted. And so many fucking people fall for this shit. I'm not talking about whether or not the virus is real, or whether or not we should have been wearing masks, or whatever. I'm not even talking about how strong or deadly the virus is or is not, or could not be. It has nothing to do with that. It's just they keep people fucking distracted. And while they're keeping people distracted, they make sure to just keep throwing things in there that are going to really fire people up, make people hate each other. So, like, look at last summer, like, all the shit that went on, protests and things, and like I said, like, a little kid gets shot in a driveway, they show up for about 30 seconds, and that's the last you fucking hear of it. I'm like, huh, that seems fucking interesting to me. But, I don't know, man. The whole thing, it is definitely also used to distract us. Whether it was created on purpose or not, whether it's by the people that run the world or not, whatever the case, whether it is very dangerous or not, it has definitely kept the public distracted. And like I said, it makes it just enough for everybody to keep hating each other, especially while they're already scared to begin with. Now you gotta give me a second. Oh, no, I do remember. Never mind. You know, I was thinking about it the other day, and it's like, dude, these phones, they are the new idiot box. Do you notice that? This is like how the TV, they used to call the TV the idiot box, because, and I know that had an effect on society and the world, you know, much like these phones have had. I mean, in different ways, obviously, but when the TV came out, man, I mean, there was already the radio, and that was a way for people to pump news to people all over the world. But the TV, man, just sit there, and I mean, the radio programs, like TV shows, but on the radio, you had like, hold on a second. Like, the TV came out, and it was like, that really kept people distracted. Sorry, I keep fucking farting. I don't know if my phone's gonna pick that up or not, but if it was, excuse me. But, I just made some homemade steak quesadillas, and, had those last night, too. And, yeah, they were fucking good, I'll just say that. It's like, that what they call the idiot box, because so many people would just start zoning out. They stay home and sit there in front of the TV all day watching mindless entertainment and just becoming dumber and dumber by the fucking day. And these phones are the new idiot box. Isn't it fucking wild that for the first time in the entire history of humanity that we know of, that all of the world's information is at your fingertips 24 hours a fucking day, and it never shuts off? But yet, people waste hours, hundreds, thousands even of hours playing fucking stupid fucking games like Candy Crush and other just mindless, mind-numbing bullshit that doesn't serve any fucking purpose but to waste people's lives. Do you know why things like that in social media exist? Other than, like, the social media also is to help promote vanity and greed and arrogance and all this other shit, narcissism. I'm just kind of being a bit redundant there, but, you know, but it's like, these things are also to help make people dumber. The internet, you have all the information of the world at your fingertips, but there's a lot of misinformation out there as well. Here's another good example I was saying earlier about how, like, if people, just because people don't believe that God exists doesn't mean he doesn't. As we all know, that there's people out there that honestly, truly fucking believe that the world is flat. Now, can you believe that? Now, they believe every other planet in the solar system is a globe, except the one that we're on. Now, just because people believe that the world is flat, that don't necessarily make it fucking so now, does it? You know, like, it don't mean that it really is. So you can believe it all you fucking want, but that don't make it fucking so, man. Like, and that's how the same thing about God. Just because people don't believe, that don't mean shit. You think God cares? You know, I mean, I'm sure he cares because he wants people to believe in him. He wants people to follow his plan and ask him for guidance and ask him to take their lives and turn it over to him. And you know, but it's like, people thinking that God isn't real, like, God doesn't sit there and go, oh man, well, they got me there, you know? Like, anyways, I just want to throw that out there. But anyways, these fucking phones, man, it's like, how the fuck is it that people can spend hours and hours and hours a day scrolling social media things? And back in the day, way back when I used to go through Facebook some, it was like, I looked through it, and after not too long, I'd get to the shit that was put up the day before that I already saw. The next day, you only go back so far, and then it's the same shit from the day before. So I was like, how do people just keep going through that shit? You have to be seeing the same shit, but then again, I was having like 100 friends or less. There's not, if you have thousands of friends, I guess you may never get back to what you're at the day before. So that is a possibility. But just fucking hundreds, even thousands of hours of people's lives are just fucking wasted. And the people that run the world, that's what they want. They want that with social media and these fucking pointless games out there, because it gets people to waste their lives instead of either one, getting to know God and trying to figure out his purpose for you in life, or just it prevents people from using their time to do anything constructive or anything good or big or important. You know, it's kind of hard to figure out how to change the world when you're too busy playing Candy Crush for fucking, you know, hours and hours a day. Now, again, I say that, you know, but it's like, I know that my lot in life, I know that God put me here to change the world, but it's like, I can't claim credit for that anyways. I haven't done any of the work. I've just watched it unfold. Yeah, I've spent fucking hundreds of hours working on my mind, on my body, on my spirituality, on everything, but I can't claim credit for that. But it's like, people are just wasting their fucking lives away with this stupid ass shit, and why are they fucking doing it? Why are people doing that, man? It just bothers me. It's like, dude, like, I use my phone to learn and to listen to music and to watch old TV shows. That is the only thing I use my phone for. I look at my planet app to see where the planets are, because Jupiter and Saturn are going to be up here soon. Actually, Saturn might already be heading up, but I can't tell if it's cloudy. It looks like it might be cloudy. I'm not seeing any stars, so I might not see them right now. I saw them last night, though. And right now, from where they're at, we're looking at like a direct, like, from our perspective, Jupiter and Saturn, like, perfectly lined up from, like, one side to the other, like, left to right, east to west, or whatever you fucking, you know, it's like, we're looking at the two of them directly from the side, and you can see how far apart those planets truly are. Not like looking at it from a different angle, you know, and thinking that they look, you know, not as far apart, because obviously even when they're lined up, they're really far apart. But like when you see that, and you see them like side to, like, look at them from the side like that, and they're close enough together to be able to do that, that's a huge distance. And knowing both of them planets are just dramatically bigger than Earth, that's wild to see how fucking much space is in between the two. Oh, my phone's about to die on the battery, so I only got 6 minutes left anyways. But why do people waste their fucking lives doing this dumb shit? I look at my Planet app. I use a notepad app like crazy to write down all kind of things, dreams and goals and things I want to talk about in videos, and my manifesto. You know, like all these different things. I use Wikipedia more than most other things on my phone. I'm always Googling stuff. You know, for a few years I would learn as much as I could about old guns, because I was finally, you know, I was getting into those, and I started buying them. Like, in the last, like, I don't know how many months now, last year at least, I've really been looking into old cars, old muscle cars especially, but old pickup trucks, old hot rods, motorcycles, stuff like that, because I'm trying to learn about these things. And that's what I can't tell you how many fucking things I've learned about how to tell the difference between certain years on different cars and different details, and this version or that version. I've learned a fucking ton. I have a long way to go, and I don't know shit about much about the engines other than the sizes, but it's like learning shit. I'm trying to use my time to learn things instead of just wasting time becoming dumber and dumber. And it's like, I use YouTube a lot because the music, the old TV shows and old movies, and educational shit, things I like to learn about. Motivational videos. I like the motivational videos. Like, I never discovered those until, like, God had taught all the things I hear about in the motivational videos. It was not until after God taught me all those things directly that I even ran into all of these motivational videos. And I love listening to them, because a lot of people listen to them looking for a spark, looking for hope, looking to find something that's going to just turn everything around and change everything. With me, I watch them because I fucking love hearing other people who have already done big things in the world say the fucking exact same things. I mean, a lot of times, word for fucking word, with the things that God has already taught me. And it's wonderful, because it's like, it just further reiterates the fact that I know what is coming down the road. But it's like, you know, I just don't understand. Like, some fun playing games and stuff, like, it ain't even that. It's just so much fucking time is spent on this shit. What in the world are you going to gain from being a level whatever in Candy Crush? Like, that ain't going to do anything in the fucking world for you at all. I mean, nothing but waste your fucking time. And it's like, I just don't understand why people do that. But that's the thing, is that's what these things are geared to do. The internet and social media and these, like, even like YouTube, like a lot of things are geared to try to get people to not care about anything important or relevant, to continue hating each other, and to just keep making people waste hours and hours and days and weeks and months and years of their lives. And it's working wonderful. It's also used to put a lot of misinformation out there, so people don't even know what to fucking believe about things anymore. And I just don't understand how or why people even are interested in that. Like, once I got my first smartphone, actually it was an iPod Touch, right when the iPhones first came out. It was like one of the first iPod Touches you could buy. I have been using that and my smartphones to learn as much as I can, and I have learned a fucking ton about music, guns, cars, and other things. I don't think particular topics off the top of my head, space and other things like that. But it's like the thing, that's what these things are designed to do. And it's like, I do understand why people get caught up in it, because that's what it's designed to do. But I just can't believe that it seems like so many people that really, even people that might know that, but just can't bring themselves to just let that shit go. And it sucks, man. And I get why people are into it. I get why people are into what's popping, what's cool and trendy, because that's what it's all geared to do. But I just can't believe there's so many people that can't just all of a sudden one day go, what the fuck am I doing? What is the point in all this shit? And it's all like, oh, cargo pants? Yeah, I got my cargo pants on today. Or tonight, sporting cargo pants. Why? Because they ain't popular. My earrings. I finally put my earrings back in. I had earrings from like the end of high school, like right after high school, all the way up till end of 2010 when I went and started looking for a new job. I took them out. I always intended on putting them right back in once I got hired, but I had a lot. That was right at the beginning of that 6 years. So I forgot about it until about a year ago. I had been thinking about it. I had been thinking about those. I remembered them, and I was like, you know what? I don't see any dudes that are really wearing earrings anymore. I've seen like 2 or 3 since I put them back in. And I could tell it to people, and they go, oh yeah, because it's not popular. And I'm like, that's even more reason for me to want to. That's the main reason I put them in, because I don't ever see any dudes wearing fucking earrings anymore. So fuck it, I don't care. I'll do it just to be fucking different. And it's funny because at work, everybody knew me for 10 years as not having earrings. And all of a sudden they see 3 of them in my fucking ear and they're like, what the fuck? Like, yes. I think I'm going to get cut off here, and I don't know how much time I got left. So it might roll into a second video, but I don't know if I'm even going to do anything, because it's going to cut off any time now. And I'm low on battery. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more. We'll see. Let me just wait till this shit hits that point. Should be 106.22, I think. This has been what, it just cuts it and just keeps recording, but it'll just cut it off into a block right there. Let's see. 20.